Hi guys, this is TechMasterJason Redux here, back at it with another video. And before I start my second and quite possibly my final double rant, take a look at this picture here. It's the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo in real life. And I actually found this van at Wamesit Lanes, which is a family entertainment center located in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. And I know I used to live near Tewksbury back then. Yeah, I lived in Winchester, Massachusetts, right nearby. It's like 3 towns away from where this is. And this van is actually used to promote the new Scooby-Doo escape room that's at sister location Escapology. Not sure if it's still around as of this video's posted date. I'm recording this in 2023 to be released in 2024 because, you know, I'm moving on with my life. Well, not in the way you guys think, because I have severe depression. So, now that I got that intro out of the way, let's get right on to the double rant. And for today's video, this is gonna be another double rant on Zoom meetings and Wendy's. And if any of you guys like either one of these things, then please tolerate my thoughts. Anyways, let's get right on to the video. First, I will be ranting on Zoom meetings, or just Zoom. Enjoy. Oh my God. Zoom has got to be one of the worst apps to ever exist on this fucked up planet. And no, guys, I'm not kidding. It's just cancer. And I hope this app gets shut down soon. And you will see why in part 1 of this video. So, for those of you who don't know what Zoom is, it's supposed to be some sort of video conferencing app where, you you talk to other people in a way that's similar to other video conferencing apps like Skype and the former Google Hangouts, but it just gets a whole lot worse from there. Because one time, guys, I was forced to use Zoom for a college revival that I didn't even freaking ask for, but I thought that since my mom would think that I would get a better and higher degree, then I have to go back to college. But this was during the worst times of the COVID-19 pandemic, so I was forced to go on Zoom and learn my shit from there. And it was so boring as hell. And also the schoolwork that I had to do, as well as the homework, was too fucking hard to do. And I was just so pissed off. I was so pissed off. Yeah, so, see what I mean? I'm just looking up what's wrong with the program. Yeah, what is wrong with it? I'll try not to read this word for word from Wikipedia, because I actually forgot what I was ranting about. So, well, originally. But it says it's been criticized for security lapses and poor design choices, and these are just a couple of the reasons why Zoom is criticized. And I guess the income tax was not paid, during the pandemic, according to a report by the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, because its profit increased by 4,000%. And this is just the general reasons. And yeah, it's also, it's been criticized for its privacy and corporate data sharing policies. Yeah, your privacy on Zoom can actually get violated, those participating in the calls. And there's vulnerabilities too. Yeah, viruses, right? Its security is actually pretty poor. Like, it would take forever to read all about this. I'm just trying to keep this brief. And there's something called Zoom bombing, which it's where uninvited participants would join a meeting to cause a disruption. Like, oh my God, I remember when that happened? Like, back then. Just seriously, what's going on with this? But now that I got that boring stuff out of the way, I will explain to you guys, well, why Zoom is just the worst app ever, in my opinion. You can see that it has a ton of criticism for its crap that you can read on Wikipedia. Well, I had a college revival, and I was forced to use this shit for 2 of my classes, which was world history and music history class. Because I love history, I love studying history, but the way it was presented here was so boring. I could have at least did it in an actual campus, but it's like, oh, I can't go back to a college campus because we were still in a pandemic. And I was like, oh no. I was forced to do this for so long. And then just everyone stares at you so awkwardly. All the students in your class would just stare so awkwardly at you. Like the students that were in my classes, they would just stare at me so awkwardly from their bedrooms. It's just so It's just not the same, man. It was just not the same. It also get annoying if someone's dog was barking and their microphone was not muted. Oh, God. I mean, at least at an actual campus, dogs are not allowed, which is good because I actually hate dogs and they don't deserve to be in school or, in the Zoom classes. Just, my God, it's just so bad. I could not stand this anymore. Like, after it happened, maybe like for the third time that one semester. Also, all the work had to be done on Zoom, and it was so boring and so hard. And after only like 2 months of using Zoom for my college revival, back in 2021, I bailed out of the revival for good after I kept disrupting my classes. It was for a good reason. I just didn't want to be there, okay? Those at the college canceled me just for expressing my opinion. That was just so nice. So nice. Yeah, seriously, like, surprising this app was created in 2012, but it didn't get popular until the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic to be exact. And I'm like, why and how is this even happening or even possible? Like, this app is so overrated along with TikTok. And I just hope this app gets banned for good along with TikTok. I hate that my ex-imposter loves being on a video conferencing app for no reason. Well, this one is the worst video conferencing app ever, or as he likes to call it, virtual learning. No one likes this. It's actually very stressful for students to be using this. Like, what happened to the good old days of just going to a school campus and learning there? Like, is that a thing of the past now? I hope not. I actually hope not. And to be honest, I haven't really enjoyed school starting in 2013 and ending in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. This would start from my second semester of the 7th grade to my last semester of my second and last college year. And those were not good times for me. My high school years were the worst, but at least they were not on Zoom. At least they weren't, but still, I definitely enjoyed school back in 2012 and before, because it just had a different feel compared to now. And that's all I have to say about this piece of crap that should not exist anymore. It should have never existed in the first place. So now, guys, I will now be ranting on Wendy's. Enjoy. Oh my God, Wendy's fucking sucks, especially nowadays. And I will tell you all of the reasons why. This restaurant is overrated like Zoom meetings. Now, let me just give you a brief history on Wendy's. So, Wendy's is a fast food restaurant that was founded in 1969 by Dave Thomas, who sadly passed away in 2002. And the restaurant is named after the daughter of the founder, named Melinda Lou Wendy Thomas. And back in the day, Wendy's was like the best restaurant. It actually was. Like, it was better than McDonald's, Burger King, and pretty much every other burger restaurant that you know of, at least according to most people. And they're well known for their famous square hamburgers, as well as their iconic chocolate frosties and fries. I'll get to the fries in just a bit. So in back in decades like the 70s and 80s, Wendy's was the fucking best. Like, back then they had real juicy burgers and thick cut steak style fries, and the chocolate frosties being made with real ice cream and not cold sweetened milk. But in my honest opinion, Wendy's has been going downhill ever since the 90s. Yes, that's right, guys, I said the 1990s. A decade that everyone seems to love, well, because of your biased nostalgia. Of course, the 90s were not that great. In fact, they were the most overrated decade ever in history, I swear. Seriously, the 90s were overrated and not the best decade. I honestly thought the 2000s were. But not for Wendy's, because Wendy's was actually going downhill in that decade too. But even more, ever since the founder, Dave Thomas, died in 2002, which this has made Wendy's die. Yeah, scratch that. Wendy's started going downhill in the 90s and died in the early 2000s, ever since Dave Thomas died. And they've been trying to reinvent their menu ever since he died. Like, the first thing they did was change the fries. Yes, those original steak style thick cut fries that were not wimpy and bland at all. Just something more bland. Like, what? That's what I'm just saying. Like, because they had to put sea salt on the fries now and then. I don't know what it was supposed to be called, but it was the fries that came out in 2010. They've been recently changed again to like hot and ready, and they're probably still garbage. I haven't went to Wendy's since 2019. Can't believe I used to actually eat at this place. I should have actually never ate there. As I said, people say that Wendy's was the best back in the 70s and 80s. You know, with their food. I will have to agree right there, even though I was born in 1999. Who gives a fuck? I can like the 70s and 80s stuff whenever I want. Because this shit's just iconic. Like, I'm serious. And then, of course, their burgers were changed too, starting in 2011. Their burgers were changed in 2011 to like Dave's lineup. But most people are like, Dave is freaking gone, you idiots. Why did you name the burgers after the founder who's already been dead? And they're not even that good too. Just, I threw up multiple times after eating their burgers because I was like, okay, this is not right. Dave would not approve of this. Dave would not approve of this. Like, seriously, I cannot believe it. And the Frosties. What happened to the Frosties? What happened to the Frosties? I swear. And also back in the day, they only had one flavor of Frosty, and it was the chocolate one. And then in 2006, they launched the vanilla Frosty, which to be honest, it's not that bad, but you know, people remember the chocolate one more and better than the vanilla one. Yeah, I know. Just a great little treat. I just noticed the Frosties tasted different, and I was like, are they ever gonna bring back the real Frosty from the 70s and 80s? Because I would love to try that thing so bad, like the chocolate Frosty with thick ice cream, so thick that you can't use a straw for it. You have to use a spoon. So I know some people like to dip their fries in their Frosties, and I can probably see why, because you know, it's sweet and salty combination. Like, it's just crazy how far Wendy's has gone downhill, and it's gone downhill even more when they changed the barbecue sauce in 2019, and before that in 2013 they changed to this logo. You know, they changed the logo, you know, to this horrible logo, and you can see Mom on Wendy's collar. Now take a look at the old logo for Wendy's, which was used from 1983 to 2013. This was their longest running logo, and I really miss this logo. It's so iconic. Just look at it. Wendy's, old-fashioned hamburgers. Quality is our recipe. Just right over Wendy. Oh, and she looks so cute as a little girl. And the barbecue sauce being changed in 2019, I was like, what? They can't do that. Like, it was supposed to be the best barbecue sauce. I mean, it was the best barbecue sauce on the market, and then now I just prefer the barbecue sauce from like Burger King. And then now Wendy's has been selling breakfast. But I remember this place was only for lunch and dinner back then, not for breakfast. Not for breakfast. Ever since I quit going to Wendy's forever, I've started to frequent other restaurants like Burger King and Popeyes, Jimmy John's, and even Five Guys, which have better service, better food, and better atmospheres. I'm sorry, Wendy's. You're done. I'm so done with you. I am done with you, Wendy's. You've done so bad. You've done so bad. Whoa! And I forgot to mention the super bar, when you could just load your tray with, I mean, all the fixings you wanted. And you could see, I'm trying to see what Wendy's used to look like back then. And you can just see any pictures of like Wendy's in the 70s and 80s. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention the buildings. The buildings are so ugly now. Why? Because they look like every other fucking restaurant now. Like, why is every restaurant like a box now? It should just be unique. I'm actually hyperventilating a little bit because it's not okay. I miss the way restaurants used to look. I'm just hoping this is from late 80s. Okay. This is what Wendy's restaurants used to look like back in the day. They looked like this. You can see they have those curved windows, and eating by the curved windows just hits so different compared to the modern Wendy's. I can show you another picture of what it looks like now for comparison. I'm pretty sure Wendy's now looks like this, and look how ugly it is. I hate it so fucking much. It just has no character, no wonderful atmosphere, no creativity, and no good food. Especially no good food ever since the 90s, and even more so ever since 2002, which that was the year my brother was born. Yep, so you can see how much I hate this place. Wendy's does not hit the same anymore. Just like pretty much everything nowadays. If I had a time machine right now, I would absolutely love to go back to the 70s and 80s and get some real food from Wendy's. A real fucking meal consisting of a big juicy burger, some thick cut steak style fries, and a not very thin chocolate Frosty. Oh yes, would I love that. And to wash that down, I get an original Coke. Yeah. Back then, Coke didn't have as many flavored variants as they do now. Just the original and cherry variant, which cherry Coke is good. Yeah, cherry Coke is pretty Good. Of course, not New Coke. That was a flop. Like, I just think life back then was better. Food was better. People were better. Remember when Wendy's was the top spot to get real food that rivaled other fast food restaurants? Remember those days? And that concludes my double rant on Zoom meetings and Wendy's. I hope you guys liked it, because, you know, pretty sure a lot of people hate Zoom meetings and Wendy's as well. These things just need to go out of business already. I'll have to say. So if you like this video, smash that like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to my channel now. And here's my sign off. I'm going to try to do a Scooby-Doo impression now, as I'm showing you the mystery machine. Scooby-Dooby-Doo!